Today you're in Steve's kitchen and we're talking about lighting a studio or a kitchen, whether you're doing carpentry, arts and crafts, cooking like we are. It is so difficult to find lights that really work. There are so many reviews out there that talk about LED lights that when you see the guy reviewing it, he'll have it about a foot away from his face and say, oh, here it's off, it's all dark, and then they switch it on and it's all lit up. But we're often in situations where we're not just doing a talking head video, and to be honest, even a cigarette lighter, if you get it close enough, will put light onto your face. We're looking for things that will light a whole kitchen, and we've been traveling now for about 3 years. If you've followed the channel at all, I've probably been in maybe 30 different kitchens, some of them really well lit, some of them really appalling, actually most of them not well lit. And I've been trying to find a solution that I can put in a suitcase with me and take traveling that will light a kitchen really well. There just hasn't been anything that suited me so far until I found this light we're going to be talking about today, which I think is outstanding, and I'll explain to you why in just a moment. Now, if you filmed in a sort of amateur studio or kitchen before, you'll know that it is all about getting light. Whatever lenses, we've got good lenses on here that let in as much light as possible, but if you can't get the right amount of light and you're working with daylight, you only get maybe 3 or 4 hours of natural light. Now, when I filmed outside in the past, that daylight is amazing. The sort of depth of field you get, the constant light, it's just fantastic. How can we recreate that? Well, I'm going to suggest that I found the perfect solution. This is the Aputure Lightstorm. I think the full name is the Aputure Lightstorm Half W. It's a fantastic light. I mean, how I never came across it before, I don't know. The bracket's almost as big as the light. It's going to be perfect for us, and it throws out the most immense amount of light. Now, it does have a control panel or control brick with it, which does make it a little bulkier. I'll show you that now. So it's always a disadvantage to these bricks. This one is quite useful. It's got actually a couple of little antennae on there for a Wi-Fi. You can actually turn it on and off by remote control. It's got a few connectors here that I don't actually use. It's got the V-mount batteries, so if you're away from a power source, you could charge this or power this by batteries. Dials to make sort of infinite adjustments on the amount of light that's coming out of the unit. It's just a really nicely built unit, and it's one sacrifice I'll have to make. If I want to actually power this through the mains, then you do need another power brick to get a power source into this unit. The control unit, like the light head itself, is super solid, really well built. Now, in order to get enough light in here without something like this, you have to adjust all your camera settings to a high ISO. You don't get very soft focus, which is really irritating, and also you are restricted then to the times of day that you can film. Now it's time to get this onto a tripod. Now I think here's a really good example. This clip you're going to see where the sun goes behind the clouds and comes out from the clouds. Just the problem that we have when we're filming in a studio that doesn't have a fixed light source. So you'll see from the beginning it's quite light, goes dark and light again, and that can really mess you up when you're trying to sort of cut and paste multiple clips together. Stand it as it is or prop it up against something if you're traveling, but if you've got a mount to put it onto, I'm going to put it about 5 foot off to the left, your right from the camera, and we'll see how well this lights the scene and the effect it has on my ability to film in a kitchen that hasn't got great light. As I say, you've got this great remote control, which means you can control everything if you're working by yourself. Now, it's going to be too light. I'm pretty sure we're at 100%. Let's switch it on and see if it is too washed out. Certainly, you can feel immediately the whole room lights up, and it's a lovely wide spectrum of light that goes across, and the CR rating is 97, I think, on this, which technically means you've got virtually pure daylight coming in. It's a very, very accurate LED indeed. Now, you can dim down the light, so you can take it from 100% and step it down to a much lower percentage, almost back to what we had before, or crank it right back up. But I think what the great thing really is now we can adjust our camera settings to get a much lower ISO, and we can put the f-stop down so we get a nice soft focus. So I'll get Michelle to do that now, and we'll come back. So now we've been able to drop the ISO right down to 160. I'm using the full potential of the lens. We've got it at f1.8, which I should have a lot softer focus. Now, if you're filming in a studio or if you're doing sort of DIY or any projects at all, that soft focus, it just looks more professional. It gives you more opportunities, particularly when you come in close and you're working in the kitchen. You can get everything in the background out of focus, which is perfect. And look at the light I've got here. I'm so impressed. If you're going to follow the channel in the future, we've still got many projects planned. We'll actually still be traveling this year, and that little pocket rocket is definitely coming with me. It's just the best thing that I've come across in lighting so far. Now, many of you will be older subscribers that have had this great culinary food experience traveling around the world, from Mexico, USA, Southeast Asia, Europe, and now in Australia. If you've just come along to the channel for the Aputure light review, I urge you to hit the subscribe button and come along for the journey. See how the light performs in various exotic places around the world. I will leave a link down below for this light if you want to get across to Amazon. We do get a few pennies, I think, for it. I think it's a fantastic light. Look at that. It's going to perform really well for us. And if you enjoy what we do here on Steve's Kitchen, if you get some entertainment value out of it, you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month. I hope you had fun with this one today. Let's hear what you have to say about it. This is a fantastic light. I'm really super impressed with it. Thank you very much, Aputure, for coming up with such a great product. Be good, share the love, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.